When people come into a meeting, I've come to this place where I've learned that there's obvious effects that come from being the child of an alcoholic. They're just there. It's quite plain to me. So let me talk. I just wanted to unpack this a little bit for you. So when you grow up in a household with an alcoholic, depending on the drinker's temperament, there may be, a lot of anger and rage and fighting going on right in front of the kids. They could be throwing up and hungover and, laying in their own vomit, that kind of thing. There's a certain kind of damage that happens. Now, when you're in a household with a gaming addict, there's a different kind of damage that happens. Frequently, a mom will show me, oh, here's a video. Yeah, there's my husband. There's our 3-year-old begging for him to give him a glass of water or something. And the kid might as well be a fly on the wall. He just, obsessed with what he's doing. Not, not there, not there. So there's some pretty profound neglect that goes on. It's crazy. Like with the alcoholic, they go out in the world, you don't know if you're going to see them again. When they're there, they're, a terrorist. And then with the gaming addict, they're there all the time. Maybe they go to work like a dutiful little soldier, but when they come home, they're getting their needs met. They're not serving the family and paying attention to the needs of the children. No, 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 they're acting like a child. So they're obsessively doing what they do, enjoying screaming, yelling, whatever, modeling inappropriate behavior right in front of the children. So what I see is, someone's heart has been broken in a certain way because they've been an alcoholic, they've been addicted themselves, and they're grieving over it. They've been the child of an alcoholic. There's that kind of thing and that kind of heartache and grief that's in them. And then they're now faced with a new kind of addiction. And they are not the same. They are not the same. So I just wanted to lay the foundation for the voice in the next message because I see it as clearly. I'll read it from the idea of the impact of alcohol addiction, and I'll talk about it again afterwards. So, oops, the screen was on the wrong page. Sorry, y'all. March 29th. It's time I started being nicer to myself. The voices in my head that tell me I'm not good enough do not speak the truth. They merely reflect the damaged self-esteem that results from living with alcoholism. When I recognize that fact, I can tell them to be quiet. I will no longer listen. Al-Anon recovery has given me gentler, loving thoughts. These remind me that I am lovable. I can learn to love myself. When I open my mind enough to hear that message, I can begin to hear all those wonderful other sounds of life and the abusive thoughts vanish. Today's reminder: treating myself with kindness and respect helps me to challenge my own self-criticism. Today, I will pay particular attention to any voice that speaks lovingly. And the quote says, we need to learn to live, to focus on something good or useful to our lives, and let the rest of the world go about its business. End quote. How can I help my children? So here you see that hurting soul. It's the rejection and the shame that comes from being raised or intimately involved with someone, coming from an alcohol addicted environment. And the fragility is laid out for you. So when you have that kind of fragility and then you come across, your book ended, you come across Gaming Addict, the rejection, is really deep. It's deep. I see it all the time. And it's really, people come to us so wounded. And I want to say the way to heal those wounds is it's loving kindness. It is self-love. That's why we preach it, and you got to live it. And the way to that really is that higher power that you know is with you at all times, accessible at all times, and cherishes and loves you in a way that no human being can. Um, so I wish that there was some easier way to heal some of our woundedness, but it takes time, and it takes being around a group of people that have boundaries, have empathy and compassion and understanding for your typical circumstance without having pity for you. There's a healthy thing that needs to be done. But we all experience it in different ways, in different forms. You've got to have the discipline and self-control to reach out, to ask for help, and to reach out for help in a consistent way. So I know so many people just won't pick up the phone, and they won't go, and they won't do. And boy, I'm killing myself doing these videos because I want to make the truth accessible to people and easy to get to. And I want to be able to encourage people in the privacy of their own homes, in a safe sort of way, because I know people so often are just not safe. Um, but also remind you that the way out of this, the way out of this is to build healthy relationships with other people. And that doesn't happen with an addict. You need a lot of assistance to make things work. So please, a 12-step program. They're online, they're everywhere. Keep trying until you find a group you feel comfortable with. You don't have to say anything, you can just show up. Keep yourself safe and protected till you're ready to share. And just know when you share, you show up for other people. And that's how we have the courage to change. Blessings on your day.